All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome to your reading for the new moon in Aries. It is pretty late here. I don't normally do readings this late at night, but I am in the process of moving, and so we've got some low light and a bit of a fried brain, but we will see what this new moon is bringing up for us. For those of you who pay attention to the lunar cycles, we may know that the new moon is often about setting new intentions, planting seeds, and it's sort of about creating that space to welcome in the changes that you want. But the new moon in Aries, especially, Aries is all about smashing barriers, going at things head on, getting things accomplished, moving forwards without hesitation, without a lot of thought, and sort of acting as the spiritual bronze in like a in strength in order to accomplish the things that we want to. And so with this new moon in Aries, we're also being asked to recommit to goals, ideas, practices, etc., that we have let fall by the wayside. And that's not about berating ourselves or sort of having unrealistic expectations. It's more about looking at the things that we have cast aside or have forgotten about and evaluating why we want to be committed to them or why we want them to serve us. And then making a conscious choice to recommit to those actions so that we can incrementally work towards our goals. I've been listening to this ADHD podcast or YouTube series, and for any of you who experience ADHD, I can add that in the comments below in the description box. But the author of the video talks about having 1 degree of change. And I really feel like this embodies the new moon in Aries, that instead of having these grandiose expectations of how we can create change or how we can build these changes in our lives, how can we recommit and refocus and align ourselves with this 1 degree of change and this 1 degree of incremental difference in our lives to achieve what our ultimate goals are. Okay. Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so this is the card that we got for our initial read. Let's see if we can get this autofocus going. I know the light's low. Ooh. Playing a little game here. Anyway, it just bothers me when it's not quite in focus. But we got the Psyche card, and it's sort of this beautiful expression of the self, but we got it in reverse. And I mean, I don't know about you, but that is quite a intense visual when it's in reverse. It's a lot of colors, it's a lot of shapes. It's not as much clarity. And really what's coming through for this message for the new moon in Aries is that we're in Aries season. You know, Pisces is all about the psyche and about intellectualizing and about philosophizing, and Aries is about action. It's about moving the bricks in order to create the house that we want. It's about taking the one step in front of the other in order to arrive at the destination that we are trying to get at. And so what is really important for this new moon in Aries is letting go of the intellectual aspects of ourselves or the intellectual frameworks and structures that we've created in our minds in order to allow ourselves to move forwards in the physical. You know, what holds us back often is our beliefs. What holds us from making the leap in a situation that you would really like to participate in is our fears. And a lot of what is going on up here is what prevents us from moving forwards from our heart center or on the ground. And so if you can embody this sort of primal, visceral response, this sort of don't think, just do, or, be aware of how you're feeling, but do the thing anyway. That is going to serve you very well in this new moon, as Aries really asks us to create these foundational building blocks of what we want in the world. Not of what we see, not of what we don't want, not of what we wish wasn't there, but taking the visual stuff of our dreams and applying it to our physical realm in concrete, applicable ways. And a lot of times, in a lot of situations, the best way we can do that is by leaving this whole cerebral process behind and allowing ourselves to just simply move forwards, just simply do. So give yourself that benefit of the doubt, give yourself that benefit of trust of, if I just simply move forwards, is it possible that I could get a step closer to my goal without intellectualizing all of the how, what ifs, etc. around that situation? We're also sort of, this series, or this, I want to say almost like this series of time, because it's not a season in particular, but we're in this sort of pattern right now where we're being asked to shift laterally quite a bit. And so if you're someone who feels like they're having a lot of changes come underfoot and come sort of at them constantly, if you can see this as a sort of game and you can have a willingness to play, I guarantee you will find these blocks less like blocks and more like fun challenges, and opportunities to show off what you're made of. And so when the universe throws you blocks, or they throw you things to test your character and to test who you are, there's no harm in enlisting your special skills and enlisting your unique qualities in order for you to sort of swing in the ways that you need to get around those challenges without necessarily bashing straight through them. And so it's like the combination of this, the sort of thinking and the sort of flowing aspect of Pisces, which we've just exited, that season we've just finished, and the bronze and sort of physicality of the Aries season that asks us to combine our skills with the know-how that we have in order to move through our blocks in a way that isn't necessarily being demonstrated as obvious. At the world, the more complicated the world becomes, and the sort of more challenging blocks that we're faced with in general, we're asked to get a little creative in how we deal with our problems. And so if you can bring in this idea of game and this idea of play and this idea of, swinging through your blocks instead of trying to go directly through them, not only is it going to be more fun, but it's also going to be more easeful. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I don't have an image for this card really, because it is a card that I lost a very long time ago, but the script on it, which will be in reverse for you folks, but it says Divine Child. And this card, the Divine Child card, is really about, I don't even know if this is a word in English, but in French it's like recommencer. It's like recommencement. I don't even want to say restart because it doesn't really give it the same weight, but it's rebirth in a sense, restarting, recommencing the dream, goal, belief, attitude, practice, habit, whatever you had going for you, whatever you had thought about doing that you feel that you've gone astray from. knowing that you're being really supported in this decision to restart and this decision to recommit to this idea that you have really wanted to pursue. And so not only in the northern hemisphere are we entering spring, in Nova Scotia it's more like winter spring, but we're entering this season of spring, we're entering this season of birth, and the new moon in Aries is really asking us, in combination with this divine child card, to really give ourselves some deep contemplation about what it is that we really want to see come to fruition. Not necessarily the materiality of stuff that we want, not necessarily these goals of, I can tick these boxes and then feel good about my life, but what are the qualities and what are the feelings that we really need, you really feel you need in your life to feel like you have a life worth living? If you're like me, I really need to write things down in order to sort of conceptualize them for myself. So if you can write it down or draw a photo, or if you're really strong at visualization, that's great. But can you envision the qualities and the feelings, the lifestyle, the sort of embodiment of what you want your life to be, in order for you to use that as your seed, use that as your divine child that you're going to nurture and grow and allow to blossom into fruition into your life? And so really the divine child card seems to be a message about knowing that whatever it is, for some of you it's going to be very specific, whatever this decision to pursue is, that's coming up for you, that's going to come up through this new moon. It might come up in the month of April, whether it's an opportunity or it's just a commitment you have within yourself. You have the divine support and you have this sort of deeper support of the mother, of Mother Gaia, sort of Mother Earth, as you embody sort of the seed of the divine child to help nurture that dream into fruition. It's almost like words are failing me because it's so much bigger than how I'm expressing it at this time, but it really is, each individual person is a seed, and we have the support behind us right now to be able to nurture ourselves to get to that sprouting phase. But you really have to feel it and embody it and visualize it and write it down and really steep yourself in the feeling of what it is that you want, on a holistic, on a deep, on a 360-degree level. So I'm going to pull one more card. Okay. This is a really powerful card that I do love to receive, the Illusionist, but we got it in reverse. And this has been coming up for a little while for a lot of us, but it's really coming through strongly in this new moon in Aries. Aries doesn't have time for bullshit. They're not interested in your excuses. They're not interested in your flowery language. They're not interested in the intricacies of, why and how you do certain things. And so the Illusionist in reverse, this sort of reverse card, is really a bit of a warning about who you are allowing to be in your life, who you are allowing to have access to your energy, as well as a warning to you of where and how are you distributing your energy. We forget that we are the stewards and the heralds of our own energy, and we give our power away so often to those who cannot appreciate it, and they cannot accept it, and they cannot hold it in the way that we need to in order for us to really feel fully seen and fully supported in order for us to thrive. And so the Aries is the ram archetype, and this card in reverse is asking us to um, be conscious of this person, be conscious of this idea of the magician, of the magical person, the magical friend, the magical connection. You know, how do you feel around them? Are you feeling fulfilled? Are you feeling like you can expand and express? Or are you feeling like you're reductive in their presence? Are you reducing yourself? Are you trying to simplify yourself? Are you trying to cut yourself in a way so that you fit into a box so that it seems like you're on the same resonance? You know, we don't have this space, frankly, for any more of this energy if we are going to continue to evolve and grow and express ourselves to our fullest ability. And so be conscious. I always advocate that it's not necessary to sort of like totally blindly cut people out of your life, because A, it's really hard on both parties, and B, it's like somewhat impossible to do without really causing a lot of harm to both of you. Um, in a sort of realistic sense. But can you be conscious of how you're distributing your energy, and how you're sharing your energy, and how you're allowing your energy to be affected by people? Because it is never the illusionist who is taking your energy from you. You are readily giving it to them. And so, can you be conscious and more aware as you enter this new moon in Aries of who you are giving that energy to? And is it a reciprocal exchange? If the answer is yes, then by all means, continue to explore the connection, continue to deepen the friendship, whatever. But if the answer is no, you are the captain of your own ship, and it is your responsibility to draw that energy back towards you when it is not being supported and seen and cherished in the way that it needs to be for you to feel that true sense of love and appreciation. So, although I am a little bit tired, hopefully that made sense. And I hope y'all have a wonderful new moon in Aries. If you would like to support my work, I will drop my PayPal in the description box below. To all of my YouTubers, thank you so much for being part of my community. I am so grateful, and I really hope that it continues to grow. If you're on Instagram, please consider joining the YouTube community. The YouTube community, that is really where I am focusing my energy and growth on this channel. It's also where I post all of my meditations, and will be posting all of my other types of content in the future. If you would like to book a private reading with me or a private healing session, you can DM me on Instagram or drop me a message on YouTube in the comments, and I check all of them, so I'll be sure to get back to you. And I hope you all have a wonderful and easeful time moving forwards into this new moon. Blessings.